Okay, Monday 22nd of September 2025, so Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Bitcoin isn't going to zero, it came from zero. So I'm looking at the market generally, casual glancing every now and then at the price, just in general. And every now and then, every then and now, the price swings up and down. As always, it's nice and turbulent. And this particular moment, it's a little down. Percentage in numbers is immaterial, but it's just down. Very nice. And generally speaking, people tend to panic a lot. But they tend to overlook the first principles of Bitcoin and knowing and understanding the direction, its trajectory. Understand that fundamentally, it's not going to zero. There's too much demand. Or you have to look at too much demand underpinned by education and awareness, understanding. For example, there's an interesting case going on in Vietnam right now with regards to 86 million bank accounts being frozen. And as people understand the first principles of Bitcoin, the use case of it through education, the demand and awareness increases. And we can quantify that with the 200-week moving average, the 2000 or so day, 2040 or something, 43-day moving average. And that goes up, up and up and up, up and to the right. Same with the hash rate. Every now and then you hear the hash rate reaches new all-time highs. And all these metrics combined together, compounded by the Lindy effect, that says that the longer something is, the more likely it is to stay, as opposed to disappear and go to zero. So on these particular down days, you could argue and be a little emotional, say, yeah, it's a downer. Yeah, whatever. But the trajectory, the direction of it is all that matters. And knowing and understanding where Bitcoin is going to be in the future, the long-term vision, 3, 5, 10 years, 15 years from now, that's what matters. Of course, then he with the longest time horizon wins. But that's interesting to understand that Bitcoin is not going to zero because fundamentally there's too much buying pressure. There's too much of a flaw. There's too many people that are interested in it and its technology, its potential, it as money, it as a neutral reserve form of money. And or understanding that the status quo isn't working. Vietnam is a current use case, and how that's creating a demand for alternatives. Because understand that in terms of crossing the chasm, in terms of adoption of new technologies, it goes from the early innovators to the early majority when people have no other choice, and or something like 3 out of 4 of their friends are talking about it. So as they understand the problems in the system as it is, and they understand the technology and the potential and what Bitcoin means through Bitcoin only and really Bitcoin first media, they understand and they come to terms with them. They come to terms with it, the penny drops, and they slowly adopt it. Hence, the 200-week moving average goes up and up and up. So therefore, fundamentally, on the long-term chart, Bitcoin has only got one way to go. I heard an interesting little joke that said that Bitcoin is range-bound between like $0, $1, and $1 million. It's just range-bound until then. And you could say, what time frame is that? Well, I've got no idea. That's a whole other question. But as more people understand Bitcoin, education spreads, awareness increases, the problems in the status quo permeate and expand. CBDC in Europe in October 2025, for example. And the awareness, education on that side, to both sides, the candle, so to speak, as they accelerate and move on and progress, more and more people are going to understand Bitcoin and come to terms with it. And that's powerful. And therefore, it's not going to zero. It came from zero, quite literally. What was it, a year and a half? In 2009-10, it traded at $0. There we are then. And it's powerful. And that, by the way, you could say that is a fair launch. Everyone in the world had access to it. You could quote in 2009, 10, 11, when the price was whatever. But you could also argue that the understanding and education around it was a lot less as well. So it's kind of balanced in a way. So then you could say maybe then it's a leap of faith. But let's not deal in hope, but prefer to deal in knowledge and understanding and awareness and put piecing the puzzles together. And this is one way to understand how Bitcoin is not going to zero, but you could argue poetically it came from zero, from nothing, code, open source code, to what it is today. and it's only going to progress into the future and march onward as you understand the first principles and technology behind it. That's powerful. Very, very powerful. Beautifully powerful. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.